oh, I would really like to see what you do all day and stuff like that. And I said, well, I'd like to know what I do all day as well. So a lot of people are asking me kind of like, what do I do all day? I was been debating kind of like how to show what I do all day. The day has started this morning at 8 o'clock. I kind of look at my emails and see what's going on. 8:30 I had the first meeting with my accounting team. So that's my controller / CFO, as well as my bookkeeping accounting team that's in India. And then we're talking about converting basically kind of like what we had with one of the company called FlipSystem, and then kind of converting the accounting that we've done so far, which was a cash basis, to an accrual basis. How do we treat the subscription fee? How do we treat the setup fee for the accounting? And then really discussing the process associated with that. So that was kind of like the first 30 minutes. Then I had a meeting with my partner and son in FlipSystem, Antoine. We talk about all kinds of different topics. So we would talk definitely about the business, we'd talk about the marketing, we'd talk about sales, we would talk about HR, we would talk about accounting, we'd talk about IT, we'd talk about the product, which is property tracking system, all that kind of stuff. And we kind of like go into all the different areas and then really identify things, give some updates on things that we've been working on, but also give some kind of discuss kind of any kind of issues that we're seeing, any kind of constraints that we're seeing, and then how do we move forward with that. That's an hour meeting. Then we went into an IT review meeting with our Director of Technology, Steve. I'm about to go in another meeting. But this is really to talk about the technology in general. So we do talk about property tracking system. And then we also migrated the database this morning at 4 a.m. They migrated the database on its own server to allow us to do some and connect that to our analytics backend. So that was done this morning very early. I have one person in Pakistan and I have Steve who is in Florida. So that's why they did at 4 in the morning. And it's also out of the way for our users. That IT review is not just about the property tracking system. It's also about kind of like what else are we working on? What technology are we working on? After that, another meeting which was with actually a franchisor that basically is about kind of like restoration of doors. Had a good talk with him. I've been kind of like looking for a franchise opportunity or a new business opportunity on the side that is truly passive. So looking to, at this particular company, do a franchise and then put a manager in place and then really have that manager control that side of the business and have very limited amount of effort on my side, generate some cash flow. And that door restoration is pretty much in line with, I think it would be helpful for other stuff that I'm doing that I'm aware of. So I don't try to go into necessarily some things that are completely out of left field that I don't know anything about. I try to stay close or adjacent to things that I know and things that I do. All right, now I'm about to go into another meeting. All right, this is the meeting about advertising. Let's see how that goes. All right.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
I'll let you know. Thank you, brother.
Bye. All right. I'm about to go to the next call. This is the sales call with the sales team. So that's what I do all day. I do some work too sometimes. All right. I had a quick lunch, about 10 minutes. So I have the meals prepared. So it's very easy for me to put them in the microwave. And the reason for this is that I have a team kind of like on both sides of the country, and I even have teams in India and Pakistan. So it's important for me to be able to eat quickly so that I can get to the job at hand. This meeting is with Steve and the team on the property tracking system. So we're getting a daily stand-up to discuss any kind of issues with the current sprint. So we're starting a new sprint. We just released a new version last Friday. So now it's about talking about the sprint for the next 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time, guys.
Have a good night, Steve. So I wanted to share a little bit of kind of what I'm doing here with my desktop and kind of all the different screens that I have. I try to get them organized. I have a lot of things going on in terms of technology development and sales and marketing and other things that I'm trying to do in finance and accounting. And basically on this left hand side, this is where I'm currently using Monday.com to kind of like, this is our big task manager here. So in here I have all the different tasks that the team is working on: IT, sales, marketing, HR, partnership, events, finance and accounting. So we have all that in there. So this is where I would normally go and look at CRM here. I would also have a desk, which is kind of what we're using for supporting our application. So I would have all the tickets here and what we're working on. So this is kind of like the, kind of like a lot of the data that's there, a lot of the information that's there. In the center here, I have my laptop where I do a lot of the emails. A lot of that stuff is in here. Every time I need to type something, I like to be facing it, so that's very good. I have my teleprompter here, and then, so if I would record content or something like that for the videos, and on the right hand side, this is where I tend to keep all the kind of like the communications, I would say. So this is where I have like Discord, this is where I have messages, every kind of communications that might have, I have that on the right hand side. I also use it sometimes for other things, obviously. So this is kind of like my setup right now, and that's it. As I was doing the call with Jason, so Antoine just pinged me and he wants to talk about something. So let me call him.
Yeah.
Hello, you called?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's it. So here we are. It's 2:35 here. Now I have like about an hour and a half. This is really the first chance that I have to spend on looking at my email and then kind of look at other things. But I have like an executive assistant on the West Coast that's started basically around noon, kind of like triaging all my mailboxes. And we have another one here on the West Coast that's just looking at the FlipSystem inbox. So a lot of the stuff that I had like automatically delegated has been handling already, so I don't have to waste my time on that. I'm just looking at the weird stuff going on, and then I can work on those kinds of emails and determine what I'm going to do with them. All right, as the organization is growing, we also have to make sure that things are in alignment. We have some goals, we have some targets that we're trying to hit in terms of the number of leads we want, the number of sales we want, the number of customers and all of that. And we have some big targets that we're shooting at. In order for that to happen, we're looking at all the constraints associated through that whole channel, from the leads, from sales, and then once it goes from sales to customer success, what are the constraints there, and everything else in between. And then it's kind of hard to keep track of all of that. So we're evaluating a couple of different applications right now in order to make sure that the director of customer success or the VP of sales are in line with our goals. So we have like quarterly targets. We want to make sure that we are heading towards the right target, that we're doing the right tasks, the right things in order to make that happen. So I'm going to spend some time right now just looking at these applications. I'm also going to send a note to Antoine to make sure we're kind of on the same page. And then we have a meeting in about an hour and a half with everybody else. It's kind of pointless to kind of implement something like this without the support of your executives. You want to make sure that you're working with them and they're going to be willing to put the information in there so that we're all in alignment. So this is very critical, and this is why we're having this meeting this afternoon. Now we're going into a tool that's going to go on property tracking system that's going to help us basically build a community there. So all the messaging, all the things. Currently we're using Discord. Now we're going to planning to move all of that within the property tracking system, and then we're going to see what that looks like, if it's possible to embed it directly in our property tracking system application. So this is the meeting about going into the organizational, the application we want to use for our organizational. So we have all our leads here in this meeting, and we're about to get started. Did you have a chance to review the material that we sent, that Antoine sent, around profit.co, LeapSum? So that's very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Well, there you go. The life of an entrepreneur is never done. I just thought I had shot everything about today, what was going on today. I just went for a quick dinner bite, and I just sat down at the restaurant. Luckily, it's just like walking distance from here. So I got a call saying that our Zoho desk is down, and then people are sending some tickets for support, and then they're not getting created. So this is the one thing I'm gonna look at right now, and hopefully get that fixed very soon. All right, so that problem is fixed. One of the things that I'm trying to do too is to start a boat chartering business. And then I just received an email from trying to get partners, and I'm trying to get also a lender to actually lend me on this. They're looking at my income tax return from the last couple of years, and I've had a lot of depreciation. I had a lot of things going on. So I have to kind of highlight to him some things in my income tax return to show him that the income is there. It's just like there was a lot of depreciation that offset that income and these revenues. So that's my next task for today. Here's what's going on here. Also, my accounting team, my controller is sending me a video saying that he has some payment discrepancies that he's looking at in Zoho. So I'm just going to look at that, send him a quick answer. And we're using Loom videos for doing that. So he's sending me a Loom video, showing me with the screen kind of what's going on, and I can answer, like write a comment right in there or respond to the email. All right, so yeah, end of the day here on the Mondays. Monday normally this is a big day where I kind of set up like a lot of stuff. All the teams gonna get a status and get everybody on board about what we're doing. So I talk to everybody, every single team, and then making sure that we are all on track. Same thing with partnership as well. We had a big discussion with partnership director as well. To me, that's a kind of a good way to get the week started, making sure everybody's on board, everybody's pumped about what we're gonna do this week. Some of the things that I kind of like to do is, at the end of the day, as things go between meetings, I would kind of open up something and I say, okay, well, I need to work on this, I need to work on that. And then I have a lot of tabs that are open and unfinished. So I kind of like to go over these tabs, not right now in front of you, but I need to kind of like, okay, well, what was I working on? I was working on this. I was trying to find some statistics. So there's a few tabs like that where I'm actually looking at data and really trying to figure out the best way to help people in different groups and different demographics. So really try to understand who our customers are and then how to get that going. I also like to stay on touch of what's happening with the economy. So I look also at a lot of data associated with real estate, with the economy, with the stock market. My big things are all around financial freedom. I want to understand who the different age groups, the millennials, the Gen X, the boomers, where they are in their finances, with the economy, how they are impacted by the economy. I always try to find a way to kind of like, how do I help them? How does FlipSystem help them? How does MartelTurnkey help them? How can I do a video that's gonna help them get better, achieve financial freedom or achieve their finances, or kind of like stay aware of things? So I'd like to kind of look at this because I have the time to do this. I like to do that. I like to do my own analysis on things. This is a little bit the time that's a little bit more quiet right now, from like 8-9 p.m. Till 11 p.m. or something like that. So a couple more hours in there to kind of think about my day, think about what I'm going to do the following day, look at my calendar, make sure everything is is lining up. So kind of like always kind of thinking ahead about these things, making sure that I'm looking at the rest of my day. The more I plan ahead, the more it helps my team and all the different departments to actually be ready and then know what to do next. I have very smart people. They can figure out some of that stuff, but they can't figure out kind of like where the whole organization is going. So this is kind of that's left between myself and my son Antoine. And this is why it's important for us to kind of like really think and then step back and making sure that the boat is heading in the right direction. I hope you found this interesting. If you did find it interesting, make sure you put some comments in there, or at least a thumbs up or something like that, so at least I know. If this is something that interests you, I'm happy to share kind of like what is it like to be an entrepreneur working your own company and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know what it's like. You're driving when you're an entrepreneur, when you lead your company. I don't have a boss calling me and telling me, oh, you need to do this and do that. I guess my boss right now are the employees telling me that for them to be successful, I need to do something for them. I need to set this up. I need to do this. So I guess I'm kind of like, they're my boss. I have to support them, and that's really my role here. And then, and kind of like making sure that steering the boat in the right direction. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, thumbs up. I try to verbalize a lot of my thoughts, so as you can tell, it's not as organized as some of my other videos, and this is intentional. So thumbs up, like the video, put comments, and then I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Thank you. Bye.